In this video, I'll be explaining you about the concept about human in the loop for Copilot Studio agent. Now, how do we introduce human in the loop for an agent which you built using Copilot Studio? Now, there is one connector within Copilot Studio flows which you can utilize to introduce the concept of human in the loop. Now, there are specifically two actions: request for information, which is currently in the preview stage as of Jan 2026, and there is another action which is run a multi-stage approval. So I'm going to cover request for information as of now. Now, what is human in the loop? Now, from a human in the loop concept perspective, we have something, one action named as request for information. Now, request for information means you're sorting information from a human. You're basically intervening in in an agentic process. So if a Copilot Studio agent is performing any action, and if a Copilot Studio agent encounters a major decision point, and that decision point is very critical in the business process, then you have an option to introduce human request, and then with that request we can make a decision, either a go or a no go, and then once it is go, the process continues thereafter. So request for information is a new action in Copilot Studio agent flows. It basically allows you to capture information from an assigned human. It's also known as HITL, human in the loop. uh, Basically, it is like embedding a human judgment into the AI workflows. Now, the agent can send a structured request like an Outlook form. So, agent will send an Outlook form to the reviewers. Now, you can pick and choose the reviewers. You can pick and choose multiple reviewers. You can pick and choose the sequence of the reviewers. Also, once a reviewer responds, agent resumes the work. Till that time, the agent is paused. Now, submitted information can then be utilized in the rest of the flow. Now, why it is important is because people can review or validate or provide key input at various stages to ensure accountability, accuracy, and trust. Human in the loop is useful when an agent needs further clarification, needs some information or an additional context, or explicit approval is needed to proceed. Now, what are the different use cases for it? Now, think about it like a scenario of procurement orders. So, take for example, if you usually receives an order of ranging between 1,000 to 5,000, and suddenly you receive an order of 1 million units. Now, whether to actually proceed or not, depending on the outlier. So, if you encounter an outlier, it is always advisable to send it for human intervention and check whether that particular action is correct or not. Now, why? Because think about it like your factory produces 5,000 units of some components, and now suddenly you receive 1 million unit order, which you never received in your lifetime. We don't want the supply chain to initiate that order creation process until and unless we are very sure that that is a genuine order. Else, you may end up utilizing power, machinery, labor, etc. Other example would be validating the financial reports, confirming the project status, escalating high priority cases, or maybe as simple as an approval. Say, if you send out an invoice to your finance team, and maybe your company's policy is like any expenses beyond, any expenses before, like if it is less than $500, it gets auto approved, and if it is more than $500, it may go into, say, your line manager, maybe between $5,000 to $2,000, and any expense above $2,000 will directly go to the CFO. So these kind of things which you can implement. Now, when to use? Now, there are various use cases. Now, if it is a risky operation, in case of a refund overrides, in case of a contract review, in case of resolving an ambiguous data, in case of escalating support cases, in case of validating financial report, in case of gathering information that only a human or a person can provide, confirming procurement orders, project updates, claims assessment. So there are multiple scenarios in which you can use human in the loop. Now, what we're going to do in the demo is like I'm just going to show you a simple process. Now, you can expand it as per your business case, but I'll just show you a simple process on how you can create an agent, how to create a topic, how to create a flow, how to call the flow from the topic and respond to a user request. So I'm not going to put anything fancy within the flow, but I'm just going to demonstrate that so that you can further extend in your real world project. So let's jump into the demo. So I'm in copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com. This is the home screen. What I can do, I can create an agent. So I can go ahead over here, agent, create a blank agent. I would not highly recommend you to go and create from here, but as this is a demo, I'll just go ahead and create a blank agent. Now this blank agent, what this agent is gonna do, agent is gonna um, basically uh, introduce that human in the loop component. Now the use case for this would be, let me think through it. What should I put? Like I'll call this as a refund override. Okay, so maybe this is my refund agent. So once this agent loads up, I will be proceeding with creating that refund override agent. Now, as you see over here, we have just created this agent and this edit button is not available for us. Instructions is not available. Knowledge is not available because it is still under process of creating that agent because you're creating it from scratch. Now, once the agent provisioning has been done, like as you see over here, you can go ahead and rename the agent. So I'll call this as refund override. This agent will perform refund override. All good. So I'll just click on save. Now, first step is to create a topic. So we'll create a topic named as refund. And it is a simple topic. I'll just say trigger this topic when user types in refund and provide refund information. Or maybe we can just say trigger this topic when the user types in refund and then we can sort some more information. So we can say ask a question. Please give us details. And then we can ask for user's entire response and then derive information from that. Okay, so simple topic refund, trigger this topic when user types refund, click on save. So I'll just start a new session. Let's say hello, I'm refund overhead, how can I help? I'll say type in refund and then it will start giving me the details. Okay, so I need to just provide the details that cost 5,000, date maybe 12 2025, and that was for something which I purchased on your store. And then you give this information and then the agent will start processing those things, right? Now this is just taking the AI into consideration and that's why it is providing you a response. But then what we want is like this information to be passed on to the store manager and the store manager approves that refund override. Okay, so how do you do that? Add a node, and then from here, I will just go ahead and add a tool, and then I will call this as a new agent flow. And you will be presented with two options when an agent calls the flow and respond to the agent. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just click on plus and I will search for human. So human in the loop. Now human in the loop has two actions basically, request for information and run a multi-stage approval. So we are going to focus on this. If I click on I icon over here, it says sends a request with specified input to assigned humans When the assignee responds, the responses can be used in the remaining workflow step. All good. I'll just click on request for information. Now again, I'm not going to pass any information from my topic to over here, but you have an option to further add an input. Okay. Now for this demonstration, I'll assume that some input flows in and I just need to send an email to a person. So I'll say refund override request, specifies a message. So this is the title, this is a message, Outlook only, refund override request for store A. Let's assume I just type in that, and then I will assign it to, maybe I'll assign it to myself. Now I can assign it to multiple people, but I'll just assign it to myself. And in that Outlook form, we can specify a text field, a yes no field, email field, number field, date field. For time being, I will just say yes, yes, no, and then we get an option input select yes or no, or we can just specify do you agree. We can also sort for a text input if manager has any notes. So maybe I'll just say notes and say manager notes, and I can create other fields as well, but I'm not going to do that. And this form looks good to me. Now once I get this response, I can even add an output. So I can get all this input whatever manager has typed, and I can just give you that in the topic as well. So maybe I'll just pick up the notes one. So I'll just say this is the notes from manager, whatever manager types in, enter a value to respond, then I will pick a notes from request for information action. I can pick yes and no as well, but for just demonstration purpose, I'll just keep it simple. Click on publish. Now remember, always you need to rename the flow over here. It shouldn't be agent flows or untitled. So I just published it for the start, because initially when you start renaming it, it will uh, not rename it properly. So it's always wise advice to publish the flow. And then once that flow is published, you can go ahead into the overview section. So let me go into the overview section, and I'll call this as, just edit, and refund human in the loop example. Click on save. You can put the description and configure the settings, but I'm not going to do that. So we have created a refund flow. What it will do, it will not take any input from the topic, but then it will pass on the information provided by your approver. Now the approver can be a manager, store assistant, or any other role. Okay, so we have created this flow. Let's go back to the agent again. So I'll go to the agent. This is the agent which we created, refund override. So let's go into the agent. We have created a separate flow. Go to the topic which we have created. Now the topic name is refund override. Go to the refund. And then from here, we are gonna click plus and add a tool. And we have created this refund HITL just now. So I'll just type in that refund HITL. It is not taking any input. However, you have an option to pass on the var1 input. We can process the var1 input. You can take the amount, you can take whatever things you want from the user and then pass on to this flow. However, you get one output. Now add a node. I will just put a message. This is manager's response. And then I will use a dynamic variable, and then I'll pick from nodes from manager. I'll click on save. I'll go to the other tab and I'll open Outlook, because you're going to receive an email soon. I'll go to Outlook. We haven't initiated any process, but then we are just keeping it ready. Now, okay, let's start working on that. Start a new test session. Type in refund. It will ask for some information. You can just specify maybe $3,000 refund, and then it will go into processing of that flow, but it will ask for connection. Now you need, for the first time, you need to set up that connection. Click on open connection manager, because human in the loop will use a service. You need to specify which account you can use for a service. Now you can use multiple accounts for that, but in my case, for this particular service, I will just use my context. So create or pick a connection, and once that connection is resolved, I'll click on submit. Now you may need to run this flow a couple of times to get it correct. It may or may not work in the first instance. It may throw some error, but now it is all connected, all good. You go back to the flow, or the agent, click on retry, and then it will start processing that connection. Now let me go into Outlook. Now in the Outlook, let me see if I've got any email message. It might take some time for the email message to arrive, and now I've received an email. So it says refund override request. So this is the form which we created. We just said we need two fields, yes or no, and the manager notes. I can add multiple things. I can add a date. I can add uh, text field, boolean field, other fields. I can make this form very long. Okay, but here we just I'm just okay with yes, and I'll say approved. Thanks for shopping. Now this message, whatever we type over here, what I have done is like I've requested that information from that flow and then passed on to the agent so that the end user can see that. So I'll just click on submit. Now let's go into the agent and see. Now if I go into the agent, it is still processing. So because in human in the loop, the agent pauses for human intervention. Now I'll just click on submit, and the action completed successfully. Now you will not see this form again. This response has been performed. Now this is manager's response, approved, thanks for shopping, and your agent has now processed completely. So so that's it about human in the loop process. So I'll just give you a quick summary of what we did. From a demonstration perspective, we created an agent, we created a topic, we created a flow, we call the flow from the topic, and we responded to the user request. So this is how you can intervene an agentic process. And then, as I mentioned to you, there are multiple scenarios which you can do that for. If it is for a risky operation, if it is for a refund override, compliance check, claim assessment, etc. So that's it, folks. This is all about request for information action in the human in the loop process. Thanks for watching.